Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good day in the markets. August 3rd, Wednesday. Thanks for being here. We're going to review the 0-day options today I took on SPY and the small account challenge. Today we opened up, let's see, yesterday we had the gap down and then completed the whole cup intraday. So opened basically, got close to retesting 20-day moving average, made a big cup, and then today gapped up in between 5 and 20. So here's the 5, this gold line up here, and here's the 20, this red one down here. So today we're in between these. Kind of a tight range today, but the price action was very nice. This is what I like as far as price action. I do well with this. So the range, let's see, the range was not even 4 points, less than 4 points, but just lots of trades that I was able to identify. So let's get into it. Morning was pretty slow. Let's see what I see here. I've got gold. I think I had gold pretty early on. I had white, purple. Yeah, this gold was actually up here. So that gives you some inclination as to what almost threw me off there. I'm gonna just do this so you can see what I'm talking about later. So I'll show you the first trade. So gold to me looks like bulls building liquidity. But we don't have a cup complete or anything like that. However, if we do stay in this channel, you could always take falls on supports and hoping to catch the inverse head. Yeah, 20-day was down here. Had nice little liquidity here, made a nice inverse head. However, at that point, my goal, I didn't do another one down here with this support. I just had that one up there, and I'm like, oh, this broke through. And then I see it hit here. I was kind of chilling because it, of course, wasn't big structure, but I thought I could maybe get a retracement type trade. I was able to catch a support. Anyways, let me review the trades. On a small account, my first trade was at... Okay, I'm going to show you the big account real quick. Wow, a lot more trades on here. Because I opened this one up. For some reason, I think maybe because I have fewer trades I can take on the small account, I have a hard time taking trades basically at my stops. I end up taking them on breakouts, which is like bad. So I need to kind of start flipping that. Because on the big account, if I'm like not quite comfortable with it and it's just at my stop and no support or resistance, I'll be like, all right, let's jump in here. If it goes against me, I'll just stop it out really easy. But those end up being like the best trades. I can stop right away if it's going the wrong direction, but otherwise it's a great entry if my lines are correct at it anyways. So on the big account, I took 2 calls, SPX calls at, time is that 10:14. I think I stopped on this one. Yeah, this first one was at 10:14. Yeah, something crappy happened today too. So it was on, was that my first one? I thought I gotta stop first. I did, I stopped at this one. Okay. So I didn't have this gold one down here. 10:14, I took my first call right here. Or was it a put? No, it was a call. Weird. That was it. Then I closed it here for a loss. Okay. That's weird. I don't remember it like that. I think this candle was green. Yeah, it was green, and it was right here. So, yeah, I mean, it flipped to red, of course, but it started green. I took a call, and then the candle flipped red, and then I closed the call on this candle on this next one. That's what happened. And I wouldn't have done that, most likely, if I had just copied this one and just put it down here, because it bounced perfectly on that. I probably would have waited also. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, my error there. So that first one was a loss, 580 to $5. But then I copied it and put it down here. I'm like, oh, maybe it was just bouncing on that after all, and this will be the inverse head. So then I actually got back in. And that's the thing, like if I'm wrong right away, or I just like timed it just a little bit off, I can get out and get back in. And in the small account, I don't hard to have that flexibility. And I don't want to just be sitting there holding it thinking this is still right. I gotta be quick and easy to get out, to stop out. So my entry wasn't as good on the second one, 1016. I got 2 calls for 860. So it started to come up, and then I put that channel down there. I'm like, well, this still looks bullish to me. I don't know when it will break, but at least this will be a retracement trade. And so I got it. Oh, not too bad. So I got it on this candle calls. With my stop, like purple, I wasn't super confident in purple yet, and I'm not sure I had this red yet. So stop was a little bit vague, which isn't good, but my trades with vague stops I feel like are usually better, just because so got it here, and the range at this point is still pretty tight, but not terrible. IV is nice and low. For me, it's better. Had a couple candles, nice big one to the top of gold there, and I think that's where I took my first one. I'm trying to catch the slippage, the positive slippage. So 860 to 1090. Yeah, 1090 at 1018. So yeah, on that candle, right about there, right about the high, just because it was the top of that gold and VWAP. And then I had one more, which I sold for 1090. Actually, limit ordered at 1080 and it filled at 1090, just because that positive slippage. And trying to catch it on big candles in your favor. Wait, what did I say? 1019. Oh, was it that one? Wait, is that the same candle? Oh, 1016 and then 1018. Okay. Wait, no, 16 was a buy. 18 was a sell, and then 20. What? 860. Okay, 1016, 1018. Oh, okay. Yeah, so my first sell was at 1090. Sorry, $10.90. Second sell's at 1450, so 80% or something. Just in the small range still. So I was at 1026. So on that candle, reason for that sell was that that was the cup close. I didn't perfectly top tick it. I got it like right here. It went a little bit higher and then came down. So yeah, that was for the cup close. And I got out. So since I only have 2, I didn't leave a runner at that point. And early candles, I'm trying to just kind of catch the quick little move. It's not the long, it's usually not the long move from then on. Sometimes you get like a little bit of price action and then it just trends in a certain direction all day. Like typically it's not though. So yeah, that second fill was nice. Definitely covered the loss. Actually, yeah, at that point I was up pretty good. I was like already more positive than yesterday after all day. So I was like trying to be mellow then. Didn't really work. This was bad. Okay, so let me show you the small account now. So I got big account, I got a nice fill down here. Small account then, once I had to come up here, complete the cup, then I'm like, all right, I'm gonna look forward for the small account. This to me is more confirmation. Now the cup's completed. And so at 1032, made this little handle. I was looking for liquidity. Really, gold was the best break. The problem is so flat. So ideally, I'd be catching on a support. This didn't hit a support for me. Purple would have been a support, but this was just in the middle of nowhere for me. I think Eric and Emperor had probably lines that lined up with. For me though, I waited, and then I could have got it on a break of this green. This green I like pretty recently just put in right here. So I wasn't too sure on that one either. I got it on this candle. So yeah, kind of late for sure, near the high day. I think I got a pretty good fill on it though. It was right after it broke the white. And came up and just kind of grinded. And of course, that's too small of a range. I mean, it was up a little bit, maybe 3-4%, but it just kind of hung out there. I'm not trading with $1 million, so 3 or 4% is like, just $1 or $2 on the small account, which is fine. Green is green. I didn't take it though because it broke the gold then, which is what I was waiting for. Definitely wicked, started showing some wicks, showing support. So to me, that was breaking and then retesting and finding support on this. So I held through all of this, which was a little bit tough, but it's not that tough because it is a small account and it's not I'm not over scaled on it. That's a good way to tell if you're over scaled, is if you're just fancy pants the whole time. Fancy pants, was that the phrase? People don't usually use that anymore. Yeah, so I sold this one. I did still sell it too early, I think, though. Not terribly. I'll tell you why. So it kind of did this. Then we started to get some candles. To me, we had 5-day up here. It was like in this area. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I didn't have anything else charted other than these purple. I didn't have like a more mellow buying channel. So profit target wasn't that clear. So then I resorted to Emperor. He's on Spy Day Trading on YouTube. He's on his Discord too. He did a lot of trades in here. So he caught that one pretty good. I caught this one right here. He caught that probably just because of some golfing. Let's see. Bullish engulfing, yeah. Pink support, cup in hand, yeah. Bullish engulfing was a nice one. I closed mine up there because of the top of his channel. 42. It wasn't quite there, but it was close. Yeah, so this blue, see this blue one he has right here? Which I don't know where he got it from, but I mean, it's from Eric, I'm assuming. But that gave me a good, just take profit. And then did end up breaking there. So it did, I'm going a bit further. But happy with the exit. It wasn't a huge percentage. Still early, and again, my fill was late. I mean, I didn't get fill down here on the small. I didn't get on this engulfing, which would have been nice. I pretty much waited until here, which started building liquidity right away, but held through it because it was flipping that into support. And my stop on here, really, it's kind of the gold. Like it breaks back into gold. Potentially way down here to purple, but yeah, I wasn't expecting it, I guess, to do that. So I probably would have stopped before it got all the way there. But maybe not. If it did just keep showing support on gold here, I might have held it. So yeah, that one wasn't bad. That was 50 cents to 58 cents. Small. I mean, it did. If I got a better fill up here, or sorry, up here, I think it went to like 68 cents. So it went like another 10 bucks when it came up here, which on my account's a lot on this little account. So that was the first couple trades, small and big. And then 1240. Let me look on here. Yeah, so I had more trades before then. 1018 to 1026. That was that one. And then I had a red trade in here. 1125 to 1126. Oh yeah, this was super dumb. It was quick. At least I was out quick. I don't know. I don't know the feeling I have when I'm entering this trade. I'm trying to recognize it sooner so I can be aware of it. That was a 1025, 1026. That was a call. Yeah, or 11, I think it was that one. Yeah, I know right where it's at. Yep, I remember it. So it came down. I charted in this white as it kind of made this tapering. I put this white in here, which I think was a good one. Ended up being a good one. Still hadn't quite tested the top of the range, which is 5-day. There was a gap below us, of course. So basically I'm looking for liquidity on gold to be built and to go long. However, you can take retracements or zoomy trades or mutual interest trades, whatever you want to call it. And seeing it now, I was thinking about some sort of retracement trade. I was like, well, how would I manage my risk? Would it be white? Am I comfortable with white? And what am I looking for? I mean, you do have a little head and shoulders here now, but you can always see those if you want. You just have to be able to define your risk on them. What I see now, which I saw shortly after, was it breaking my tapering channel would have been a fine entry, which was on this big red candle. And maybe I wasn't paying attention. I'm not sure, but maybe I didn't think of it. Or on the retracement. And then having white as my stop. So yeah, that could have been a nice. And the problem with these is you gotta be quick on profits because you don't know how far it's gonna retrace. That's why you have to have, yeah. I mean, I would say at least probably to here it would retrace, just the previous high to bounce. But potentially could come, should keep going. You don't know how far it'll go. But yeah, I didn't take that one. But it did end up being a nice one. Probably taking profits once it hit this. If I didn't stop out here, Probably another one of VWAP. And this is kind of in the middle of nowhere, so no idea how I'd take that one. Maybe once it broke the white then. Didn't take that one. However, I saw this happen, and then I'm on the big account, and the big account's looking pretty good. I'm like, all right, let's come down to VWAP. This big candle, this green candle, it actually did break my white, because my white was like right there from these candles. Broke the white. I'm like, you know what? Here's the retrace. It's rejecting this liquidity up here. It's bouncing off of the high day. We've got a nice shoulder up here. Here's the head. So I actually got calls like on that candle, I think. It just immediately went against me, one of those where it's like, you've got to just be so quick to just jump out of it. It's gonna get ya. Yeah, $5 to 340. And I closed it the next minute. It just immediately flipped on me. I got it right here when it was green. It's like that one closed above green. Closed it here, beginning of that candle. I was waiting for that one to close. Just, I mean, it didn't really matter. It was dead. So that sucked. Took away half my profits just on that one candle. My God, dang it. And then of course it's middle of the day, and I'm like, I shouldn't even be trading. That was 11:30. I gotta be careful. Let's see, 11:58. Yeah. So I had one more red trade on here. Midday, 11:58 to 12. Yep. I can maybe, I can't really scale down. I'm kind of at a minimum amount if I want any runner. I could just do one contract at like bad times a day to trade, like middle of the day. This was put 11:58 to 12. Yeah, it did kind of chop me up down here a little bit. So broke my white. I got in, ripped up, I closed it. I think I whipsawed a little bit. Not whipsawed, but I kind of got juked. Got back in. That was a loss, 830 to 720. Got puts again at 1203. This one was a bigger loss, 1203 to 1208. Came back down, broke the white. I'm like, all right, well, that was just a stop out. Then it ripped back up, and I closed it here then. Like, all right, I should stop. Because then I think I went from green to red on that account. I was like, ugh. Midday. And then, let's see. Yeah, so then this trade I took on both accounts. 1242. I was into puts. Interesting. 42, 44, and then 44. So did end up making a head up here. Kind of retested that. If it came up to gold, I may would have gotten puts up there, but it didn't. And it's still in a wedge here. Didn't make it to the end of the edge of my wedge, so I didn't get into it. I waited for it to break. It broke. Yeah, I was kind of over it at that point, as you can tell. It broke here with a big red candle. Didn't quite complete the inverse cup. Came up, and I got puts on the retest. So, kind of happy with that, actually. Just the confidence to get back in after it's done that. And the fact that it's not quite completed the cup, but maybe it has, and I just don't know. So yeah, got in at 1242 on that retest. That's right, yeah. 1242, and on the small account, I got in at 1240. Oh, so I did catch this on the small account. Okay, that's right, yeah. So it started coming down. I caught on the small account, 1240 to 1243. It was a small gainer because I didn't take profits on this because I didn't complete the cup. This was nice. This was maybe 10, 12%. Not huge, but it's a one candle trade, which is annoying, but sometimes that's all you get. Especially when you're waiting for the breakout, not catching on resistance or support. So then it came up, I'm like, oh, it's retesting. I wanted to close it here because I think it went red. Definitely went red. I'm like, well, maybe it's retesting. And then I got into the one on the big account because I'm thinking, yeah, this is a retest. And the fact that it quit selling in such a steep channel, which is why I got out on the small one for a gain. It was on this candle right here. It was like right there, 1243. So that was 40 cents to 42 cents. A small gain. Could have been more on that one. I maybe could have entered earlier. I don't know. With my channels lined up, there really wasn't much confirmation before then. If I didn't enter on this one and I got in on the retrace, then it would have been more comfortable like I did on the big account. But it doesn't always retrace. So on the big one, yeah, it was 850 to 870, so it was very small. And I stopped out of the second one at, yeah, 840. So tiny green on there. Yeah, so on the small account, that's 2 for 2 as far as green. And then big here at 1259, I was into a call. Yeah, this was a nice trade actually. Let's review this one because I did enough trades today. I don't really remember all of them. So it's nice to look back and remember and see why and everything. Yeah, so completed the inverse cup. 20 day was here, bounced on 20 day. I'm like, maybe get a retracement trade. Came up, it grabbed his shoulder. I liked it. I was waiting for red candles. Gave me red candles and I got in right there. I think, right? 1259? Yeah, 1259. Just that candle alone was like 15%, I think. Just because I got a nice slippage on the way in on that red candle. And then this next candle, like, it was like 20% right there. So I got calls there with the stop being purple. So it's kind of far away from my purple, but also just this shoulder here. So grind it up. And first profit was 104, so $6.90 to $8.40. 104. So yeah, I didn't really know where to take profit, and that's kind of the thing with retracement trades. So yeah, this was my good slippage coming in was equalized with the bad slippage going out. This candle was green, flipped to red, and I got it filled like down here on a bad slippage. It would have been much better. Would have been much better if I got a better fill on the green. Any of these candles would have been better. I just had a poor exit on there. I wanted to exit. I was like, it's a long ways from purple. If we get a big red here, I'm gonna be red on this trade. So, yeah. But I still had another one, so I was able to hold through that. And the next one was almost 100% from $6.90 to $11.20, and that one I closed at 111. So held through this liquidity here. Was looking for VWAP and a couple big candles. Boom, closed it on this candle like right up here. So pleased with that trade. So I caught it coming down and then I flipped it and caught it coming up. And if I was more focused, I would have been like, well, it's resisting here. I should catch it going back down, especially since we've completed the inverse cup and this is most likely a handle. I'm probably, if I wasn't in this trade and I was just watching it and focused in that way, I maybe would have caught put here and had gold as my resistance. This is a nice head with a shoulder, and grab that shoulder, made a little mini head and shoulder. But I didn't actually catch that, I don't believe. No. So, yeah, I think that's partially because I caught this one. But, that's oh well. So well. Next one on the big account was, okay, 302. So at this point, I think I was a little bit green, maybe. Yeah, I was green. So 302 to 304 is a break even. Oh yeah, that was down here. Is that here? Yeah. This was actually crazy too. So it came all the way down here. This was a gap fill. It actually didn't quite fill the gap, I don't think. So I'm seeing that it's just kind of building liquidity in this white at this point, which is actually bearish, but you know, can always be taken over, especially end of day trying to find VWAP. So I caught it down here just because that was support, and I'm thinking I'll try and take first profit at the top of this right here, and then second one probably at 20 day, also at the top of this white. It came up here, and just from here to here, just because nice entry, this was like 35%, and this being later in the day, but I didn't take any profit on it. And then just literally this candle, it was all gone. So it stopped me out right there. I was like, oh, yep, should have taken profit. Yeah. If it had broken out or something, then I could have been more greedy to hold. But yeah, that was a break even. And then the final trade. This one was sick, but it's hard to see it keep going without you. That is very, very difficult. I need to start meditating and box breathing when I'm in a position. Getting my timing to enter is very important. Having patience, but then having patience once I'm in it, and just sitting and dwelling, not dwelling, but sitting in that discomfort. I need to improve on. And when I'm thinking of I want to sell, I need to flip it and say I should be buying more, and try and have that mindset to help me hold, and maybe even start averaging in. I'll average in sometimes if it's like hanging out in the spot, but if it starts going in my favor, it's hard for me to average in. And especially on clear breaks like this one, you know, it was building this orange channel all day. We've got 20 day, we've got inverse head, shoulder, a retracement to VWAP for in a day also. A lot of reasons why this trade could work, but breaking the gold was a nice clear entry, and purple here as your stop. But let me review it really quick. Sorry about that, baby. Let's see. 333. Okay, 332. So I got on the little account for 14 cents. I was trying to catch the retrace, but it's hard to. Yeah, catching it here was like it's a bit of a gamble until it breaks something. Unless you get it on nice supports like I did here, but you saw how that went. So yeah, right there. On the small account, I got. The problem was the ones that were in the money were too expensive, so I had to get one out of the money. I could have gotten more, of course, hindsight, but I was like, end of the day, I should. It's fine to probably scale down. So the contract I got was only 14 cents. This one ended up going to $1.30, which is crazy. Got it at 332, and I'll show you guys the small account here after this trade. Right here, got on this candle, it broke gold. This showed a little bit. I was a little sketched out actually, but this showed some support. The problem was it was still under 20 day, which was not making me very comfortable. I checked Emperor's just to see where he had his, and let me see, 32. Yeah, his was even lower. So his had already broken quite a ways. Mine was higher for whatever reason. So yeah, jumped in there, and a good lesson for me is if I don't see any resistance, like just keep holding it. Like I didn't know where to take profits. It kind of just kept grinding up. I'm like, well, I mean, I want it to go to VWAP, and I think it can, but you know, I don't know. And the fact that I got not a great entry, I mean, it wasn't on support, it was basically on the breakout. I was like, okay, so it started working in my favor. Went from 14 cents, and I closed it. So I was like, all right, I have to at least wait for a red candle. It's so annoying to me when I'm like, I enter maybe here or wherever I enter, and there's like 3 green candles, and I close, and then it just keeps going green. I'm like, why didn't I need to at least have that rule? If I'm looking for an exit, at least wait for a candle in the opposite direction. Don't have to close right then, but then you're looking to close it. So in this case, since my purple was so far down here, I was thinking this potentially could just flush down and retest it. Like, might still be going up, but at that point I would be red on this trade, and I don't want to give this up. So if I did a bit of, I don't know, box breathing and slowed myself down a little bit, maybe I would have held it longer. But yeah, 332 was the time I got in. I got out at 335 on this candle. So I did get positive slippage, which was nice. It was a pretty big candle. I guess I was thinking maybe this high. It wasn't at my resistance of white on Emperor's chart. Actually was at his resistance, his blue. So that was maybe part of it also. And it was at the top of his orange. So I'm thinking if it wants to come down and find support on orange, I could come straight down and turn this thing red. So yeah, with just one contract, I feel like that's fine. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. So fortunately, I think it's helping me to hold. I'm having to be forced to hold stuff longer that's working, since I only have one exit on it. And on the big account, so yeah, that contract. Here's a small account for the day. There are the trades. There's the P&L. Yes, this 14 cent one went to $1.20. Where's that now? It's at $1.70. I got filled at 25 cents and it went up to $1.70. So that would have been nice. Of course, since it's one contract, I can't have risk management to just hold. You can have, there's a time for lottos and a time for, you know, gambling or taking a risk, I guess. If you're up on the day, if you're using a smaller amount, you know, there's a time and place. Potentially this is it. With this small of an account, it's just every bit, every dollar is so important. So where I really should have held one longer was the big account. Still a nice trade, but yeah, so I got 2 at 333, sold the first one in that next minute, 334. And actually my sell was nice enough on here that it actually stayed that same price through all of these. It wasn't until that was another thing actually. With a small account, my contract was out of the money. So all here was the same price. It didn't really flip until it hit like here, and then it really started going crazy once it got in the money. The big one, did I sell that sooner? 32, 35. Yeah, I sold this one a minute earlier, I guess. Yeah, I was just, once I have more than one, then I'm like more jumpy to sell the first one earlier because I'm like, I just want to get profit. Then I think I put a stop. Maybe I didn't. That was 590 to 810, and then the next one was 930, so almost 100% on that one. So that put me back up more green than I was this morning on the day on the big account too, which is nice. Second one, I couldn't wait till VWAP. It just started to kind of, it's so silly. Where did I close it? Yeah, I closed it right here. I got it on the green. Well, this was maybe red when I closed it. Oh, it's because I just had that red candle. That's why I closed it. So looking at it, since it was all day doing this and then it breaks it basically, and VWAP's close and it broke it, I don't know, maybe those are good signs to hold. I didn't have resistance technically or necessarily. Definitely like holding to VWAP, that should have been done on the big account. There's no excuse for me not doing that. And maybe it's because I was looking at my P&L today on the big account, which normally I don't, because I couldn't find it. I finally figured out like daily P&L, I don't have to add it up. Maybe that got in my head because I'm like, all right, I was green, then I'm red, and then now I'm back green pretty good. So I need to, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, there's small account. I can forgive myself for taking it here. Big account on the second one. There's no reason, because this was still early too. It was 335. And maybe that was part of the reason I didn't want to keep holding, because sometimes it's tricky. I mean, if you're starting to enter a trade at 330, oftentimes it's choppy here until the 10-minute move. This thing did start like 330 though, so this is pretty uncommon. It does happen, but usually it's pretty trappy. I guess just breaking this gold was a bigger deal than, I don't know. Because yeah, I mean, rip past VWAP. If I had closed the VWAP, that would have been much more ideal. But that's the day. Green day from yesterday. I think we're a little bit red still from yesterday. I'm working on it. I'm stoked though. I had 3 for 3 on the small account, and that's even without getting like great entries. That's mostly breakouts. Part of that is the price action today. I was able to decipher it better, I guess. So hopefully tomorrow's just as good, and I can hold winners and kill losers quickly. Thanks for watching. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Peace out.